All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Freezin for NFC North Podcast, episode 175. We are post Super Bowl, so we're doing some NFL the season that was, reality, and fantasy football. We do have some special guests. BTA Sports are going to be talking about their fantasy football content, and we're obviously going to be talking about the season that was and the season that will be next year. So I am NFLOutdated. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on X, Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. Find us on Freezin 4 Pod on TikTok. Not doing any dances yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there, right, Miles?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about all that.
Where can everyone find you, Miles? Go ahead.
You guys can find me on Twitter X at Pack Weekly Pod. Also streaming live every Monday night, 9:30 on YouTube, on the Packers Talk Network YouTube channel. So check us out there. But talking Pack, and now we're in draft season, so we're doing a lot of diving into draft prospects and parsing through all of that. So it's a lot of fun. So check us out.
I'm sure that was just a little bit of a Micah Parsons, right?
Oh, hey, yes, absolutely. I mean, everybody wants to get all down about not having a first-round pick. I'm sorry. Micah Parsons is in the building, so I'm okay with that.
We'll get to that. Definitely lots of great stuff. Definitely like and subscribe all of Miles' stuff. Dre, where can everyone find you as we open up?
You can find me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It's at Skullman Sports. Glad to be here.
All right. I think we're kind of going in and out, but we got you on X, Twitter, Dre. Glad you're joining us, and obviously Vikings fans are here regardless of how the season went and how the offseason is going as well. Someone who's here, rain or shine, dome or not. He was missing last week, but I forgive him.
Yeah.
Seventh letter, where can everyone find you?
Seventh letter X on seventh letter 4 on Twitter X, same OG on Instagram and Facebook. Let's have a good time tonight, gentlemen. Pause.
Absolutely. And we do have a couple of guests from BTA Sports, Tyler and Nick. I'm going to have you guys each introduce yourself. So, Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Tyler Fox, Eagles fan over here, but been in AI for the last couple years, for the last 10 years, been in tech spaces and got tired of losing fantasy football. Nick, my neighbor, best friend, family, right? Part of his draft league. At his live draft in 23, I was like, dude, this is something here, and here we are. But
pretty cool, man.
Nick.
Yeah, so Nick Shell, co-founder of BTA Sports. Like Tyler said, I could throw a banana in his house. He's my next door neighbor.
Hopefully, is that I don't know, maybe.
I don't know if you want to innuendo it. I don't know, but you can throw a rock, you can throw a pen, you can throw a stone. But no, we started with a simple idea of just getting better in fantasy, and the technology is available now, and it's kind of morphed into this, education tool that we're providing in this space because the technology is so new. So, we have partnerships with, Carnegie Mellon, Syracuse University, and we're just trying to provide, a user-based environment where our users control their own risk. And we can get into that later, but we can also talk sports. So we're here, and thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, glad to have you. Hopefully our feed is doing all right. It's kind of been up and down, but hey, you gotta love technology. Now, the Super Bowl, obviously, you look at the game and you look at the teams, the Seahawks and the Patriots. Obviously, the Seahawks were favored. Seahawks won. Now, when you kind of looked at, do you mostly do fantasy football predicting, or did you kind of look at this game and kind of put it through the model as well?
Yeah, so this game, we have every single game has an alternate. So every single game has alternative lines, right? Whether you're plus 4.5, you can bet 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 3.5, 2.5, minus 1.5. Whatever you want to bet, you can control your own risk within the alternative line universe. So we have provisional patent pendings on the way that we display our data. So we give you odds of every single alternative line happening with a probability. So 6.5 points, you have an 80% probability with minus 200 odds. We're giving you the data, and then you can use it however you want to use it. And that's what I mean by the user controlling the risk. It's just a certain probability of certain outcomes happening, and we're giving you the tools to go ahead and combine, the best of the variances within our modeling to build parlays. Yeah. And our parlay risk analyzer is patent pending. We also have a daily fantasy, which is going to really, I think, be interesting to your audience, because we have a patent pending on the first one-click daily fantasy optimizer. So within our technologies, you can drop down daily fantasy FanDuel and DraftKings right now for their Sunday slates, and you can literally optimize a team with one click. You can start locking in players that you like around that optimized click, and then you can start optimizing around those players that you like to use the salary cap, efficiently. So we're doing this with the best brains in the universe. Carnegie Mellon University students and Syracuse University students are programming all of our modeling. We also have we have our own team of engineers that do all the modeling, but we employ, we go through the levels of academia to help with the future engineering and to really bring the secret sauce into our accuracies. Because we're 78.6% accurate against all alternative money lines and spread this year. 78.6.
Wow.
So, and those are numbers that are in our Instagram, like everything published, because in our space, everyone keeps their numbers very not transparent. We're open. So, building that transparency. So that's what we're doing.
You tell you someone that could have used that last year, Quafi Adolfo Mensa.
Oh God,
Dre. I mean, what did it, as a Vikings fan, what did it, feel like to see Sam Darnold win the Super Bowl?
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I don't really have any beef against it. I think as a quarterback, I mean, he played as well as he's always had. Like, he didn't have a great game, Like, I mean, he didn't have a terrible game, but like obviously there's worse games out there. But I mean, he wasn't Super Bowl MVP. It wasn't him. Honestly, the defense and Kenneth Walker were the reasons why that game played, and obviously the Patriots. Arguable frauds, I would say. They did not play. Yeah, so it's one of those things that I like Sam Darnold as a person. I'm glad he had success. And you go back to the end of last year. It's like, do you pay the guy a lot? I think I said this last week too. It's like when you lose 2 big games in a row at the end of the season that actually do mean a lot, and you play poorly. Are you going to pay him a lot of money, especially at the time when they thought that McCarthy was going to be a lot, like much, much, much better? I mean, I don't know. I can't make that decision. I'm not a GM, but I mean, I'm not totally upset about it.
At seventh thought, I was going to say probably, and I know this was to your joy, probably. Geno Smith has probably be the sickest guy in the room now. He immediately left the team that won the Super Bowl, and he went to a team that has the number 1 pick.
Man, well, Geno Smith is a bum too. So
that's what we're talking about. I mean,
like Sam Darnold ain't win that game. He almost threw like 4 picks. You know what I'm saying? The Patriots did, both defenses played relatively well. I mean, the Seahawks look, amazing.
They look really good.
They the Patriots defense, I mean, it was on the field forever. The offense didn't do nothing until like the drive before the last one. And I'm like, he gonna throw a pick the next drive. After he threw the touchdown, Drake May. I said he about to throw a pick because he think that was a little bit too easy, and he went and threw a pick. So I knew it was gonna happen. He's young, and they haven't paid him yet. So he has a good team around him, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him back again. I can also – nobody on the AFC, all our stars weren't there. The Ravens weren't there. The Bills dropped out quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, any of us could have went to the Super Bowl this year. Yep. Any of us. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something crazy about the model? The punts went over in the first quarter.
Word.
Punts for the game.
That's
For the whole
Word.
game, went over in the first quarter. So if you were to bet the punts,
wow.
you won.
Yeah.
Wow.
The over and the
Wow, that's wild.
Anyway, so it was all right. It was I enjoyed the Super Bowl. I always do. It's the last game, but this one, I didn't have a dog in the fight really. Matthew wasn't there, so it was like whatever.
Yeah.
Whoever wins. It doesn't matter. I didn't have a dog in the fight. It wasn't Tom Brady there or nothing. So
At least I got my AJ Barner anytime touchdown. That was nice.
Right. And the thing is, I'm like, if he does throw a touchdown, it's probably gonna be to the tight end because for some reason Burn always squeaking out.
Yeah.
It really is was the year of Indiana, right?
Whatever, man.
So what about you, Miles? What were your thoughts watching the Super Bowl?
Yeah, kind of the same. It's like, any of our teams could have played the Patriots in that game.
True.
Really, the game was the NFC Championship game, and I think Seventh Letter, you and I were probably aligned there because I wanted to see Devontae get a championship, and would have been cool to see Stafford get another one. He's a DFW guy, but yeah. So I don't know. I wanted a good game. I wasn't so surprised that the Seahawks looked good the way that they did, but I was surprised that the Patriots looked as bad as they did. I mean, I heard the kind of the whispers of fraud and their schedule and all that. It's like, all right, I didn't pay attention to the Patriots, so maybe their schedule made them fraud.
Ain't nobody. I always say that. That means something.
It was bad though, man. I mean, it was really bad. And Drake May was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the season, and then played that like that. And then you got Will Campbell taking steps forward on pass blocks. It's just like, what is going on here, man? So just, I don't know. It was interesting, but yeah, I mean, you kind of look at it like next season, I'm not really wondering who you might run into in the Super Bowl. It's really like who you got to go through to get there.
Right.
I was surprised the Patriots didn't use Travion Henderson as much. I don't remember seeing him at all.
Yeah, I was surprised with that too.
He had a few good runs, but I mean, they were on their heels. They needed to get out of the hole the whole game.
There's a couple plays he could have just stuck his foot around or into the right. He runs right where the play's supposed to go.
Yes, I saw that.
It's a few times he did that. He's fast, he has speed, so once he hits the hole, he's gone. But it's a couple of times he could have just stuck his foot in the ground, went to the right. 20, 30-yard gain, but it's whatever.
That's like the evolution of the offense. There's so much pre-snap movement now, and if you're not moving before the snap, I mean, the Eagles, like you said, like anybody could have been there and beaten the Patriots that game because it was just the old school of running an offense versus, movement. I mean, it's kind of like watching the 49ers when you're an Eagles fan. You look at this offense and you're like, wow. But, it is something where like Kevin Patullo comes in and like no one can jumpstart that offense because it's just so stagnant. That's what I felt like I was watching with the Patriots. It was just like so predictable. I mean, just if you're going to play that old style Bill Belichick, just give it to Ramondre Stevenson. Just have him run right between the A-gaps, run it down the throats. But like if you're not going to have any movement and no creativity, I mean, there's a reason why it was 12-0 in the most boring Super Bowl ever. Yeah. I was on a flight home watching it. Like I didn't even go to the Super Bowl. I have an opportunity to go. I didn't want to go, but I wanted to go, but I wasn't going to pay $3,000. But it's like
that's fair.
I'm glad I didn't because I was like, oh man, this game sucks. It's like watching the Eagles offense this season.
So you kind of touched on something there, and I we've kind of talked about this since the offseason a little bit that I wanted to bring up and how coaching matters. And obviously my Bears have Ben Johnson and all that, and you guys do your predictive models and everything like that. Now, do coaching changes kind of affect the models, or how does coaching kind of play into the models and predictions and all that?
Tyler, you want to handle this, or you want me?
Yes, I mean, so there is an impact. I mean, because every coach, right? Like, maybe it's a different play scheme, or whatever happens in the game. I mean, without giving anything away, like there's an impact, but how much of an impact really does it play? And it's, I mean, I don't have that in front of me, but it's not much. If you right, it's like if you think about it, right, because everyone has to come together either way. I mean, it's team, but at the end of the day, right, there's so many other variables that go into the model beyond coaching. Like it's definitely a factor, but the weather, the deep, right, like so much going on in the system. So, I mean, it's.
I think from a coaching standpoint, to add to Tyler's point,
Yeah.
also there's sentiment indexes that we're looking at right now. Where you can like scrape Twitter and you can scrape, everywhere for like buzzwords. And when a coach is hired, there are certain like emotions fans feel, emotions that players feel, and these people are human, as we know. So we actually, are coming up with BTA sentiment analysis, and coaching has a lot to do, with that analysis, and we're trying to correlate, sentiment with performance, on-field performance.
Use Packers Twitter. You'll get a great data set from the.
Good. Twitter's the fucking. I'm sorry, the cesspool every day. So it is a cesspool, but it's the best to get raw emotion. And we're finding, whether it's an inverse correlation with performance, it's a superstar player. We have our index that we're working on behind the scenes, and it is like deadly accurate, with performance. So. That's something that coaching has a major impact on, sentiment. And we're studying sentiment right now with our Carnegie Mellon students. That's their capstone project.
Well, that's what I was hoping, because I really wanted to teach seventh letter how much Ben Johnson means to my Bears. Anytime I can bring up Ben Johnson and coaching and because going into 2026, going into 2025, everyone said no, the Bears aren't going to be good. They got a young coach and everything like that, but. Obviously,
ain't nobody say that.
You said that.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Roll the tape.
We said you weren't going to win the division.
For years, I've been saying y'all much better than your record. Have you heard me say that before?
I have heard you say that. Yes. Yeah.
You heard.
I said the Bears are going to be 11-6, and you laughed at me though. 7.
Because y'all another team. Y'all had the easiest schedule in the world. But you did beat some good teams. You beat the Eagles. You beat the Packers twice. I'm not shitting on you here. But you had a lot of games with sorry ass teams that y'all took down to the wire. The Bengals game, for example, you had to beat the Bengals in overtime. Like, come on, man. Y'all.
Which quarterback were they on?
Yeah,
that was with Flacco, wasn't it?
Something like that, something crazy like that.
It wasn't Burrow. Burrow wasn't in that game. I know that.
No, Burrow didn't even play. So come on, man.
They caught up the Red Rocket again.
I've been said y'all. I said that you guys were better than your record for years. When y'all drafted Caleb, I was like, all right, I'm a little worried. He might got a little something there because he's a gamer, if anything. You know what I'm saying? He's a gamer. He makes the offense, just the way he plays, it makes the offense very explosive, and he could be a problem. And this year, he showed a lot. I ain't gonna front on the kid. I think the kid played good. But I do think that, he just misses a lot of layups. Y'all, it's so many blowouts y'all should have had. So many.
Yeah.
But
he keeps everybody in the game because he don't start playing until y'all down, and then he has to play,
extra
Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think you guys would win the division. No.
I didn't.
What did the outside world think of Jalen Hurts?
Okay, so that's actually what I was going to lead to. So,
I don't know you.
Go seventh player, yeah.
Dude, all good. I welcome the criticism because I don't know. I just want to hear because I hear 94.1 WIP, Stewart Talk Radio, everything in 97.5 here relevant. But I want to know what the outside world thinks.
Oh man, who wants to start? Want me to go?
Seventh letter, you have the floor.
Yeah, you start.
All right. So Jalen Hurts, he's another guy, right? That he throws a really good deep ball to me, in my opinion. That's his strength. The fact that his legs, he's smooth, poised, all those things. But again, the layups, just a slant. Just a slant. Let's move the sticks. And if the running game ain't working and you ask him to win the game on his own, Not really. He doesn't come through in those parts of the game. But like if the running game's going, you protecting him, you don't rattle him, you don't get in his face, because if you rush him in his face and he starts looking down, he don't look down the field no more. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing with him. He's another one that's kind of mid to me, but he got a Super Bowl ring. What would I do for a Super Bowl ring? So he had another Super. He was the MVP of the Super Bowl, but I wouldn't call that his best game. You know, it's just he was the best. The defense won that Super Bowl too against the Chiefs. It's the same thing, man. Jalen Hurts, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I don't like those kind of quarterbacks either. But when you got a machine like the Eagles have, where you draft very well, we all envied it. Like, how the fuck did the Eagles get Kenyon Mitchell? How? You know what I'm saying? How? Like the way the team is built, you can't front them. They'll always be in it because they got filled with talent all over. But again, you got to hold your core on your defense is young. You got to pay some of those guys soon, so it'll kind of normal out in a minute. So I'm waiting for that. But
Miles, are you the same kind of way with Jalen Hurts?
Well, Jalen, I was kind of thinking about that. Like, I'm kind of lukewarm on Jalen Hurts. Like, I'm not out on him, but he doesn't strike fear in me as an opposing fan. You know, I'm like, oh man, Jalen Hurts is gonna be tough to deal with today. You know, I don't know exactly how to feel about him. But as I was thinking about that, I remembered that Sean Mannion is headed over there to be y'all's offensive coordinator. I would look for him to try to do with Jalen Hurts what they did with Malik Willis when he was in for the Packers, because they really compliment him with the running game, and I think you need to do that. They didn't ask him to do too much, but in the moments where you need to let his arm loose, they have that built in. That to me seems like what you need, and Mannion might have a little bit more of that desire to get the ball downfield. He definitely seemed like he was excited to work with Jordan Love again. I got to talk to him a little bit off the record at the Shrine Bowl, and that was before he got hired with the Eagles. But so he seemed like he was excited to work with Jordan Love, and they need to push the ball downfield more with Jordan Love. So yeah, I think there's probably some reasons to be optimistic about him and what they could do with him.
Well, kind of on that note as well, I'm gonna. We've talked about the seventh letter. I'm gonna bring this out. We've talked about this for a few weeks, and just kind of bringing this back out. The PFF rankings QBs from this past year. I believe it was because obviously Mahomes was hurt. So they have. Gosh, is Hurts even on there? Yeah, Hurts is number 11.
Like number 12.
Number 11 right there. Goff 12.
There it is.
Cousins evidently had a resurgence. We'll see where he ends up. But
Final
Mahomes.
Yeah, that
off that list.
Yeah, no.
Let's get Cousins off the list.
Yeah, no.
So I'm gonna show you seventh letters picks, and then I'll show you mine. All right, here's seventh letters top 10 quarterbacks.
Still can't believe you put Caleb over Love, man.
This is seventh letter too.
Because he beat him twice. He beat him twice, and when the game was on the line, Caleb Williams threw the game for the touchdown.
58%, man. 58% completion.
That's true. But it's the whole big. It's the big
I
game.
get it.
Like he's
I get it.
Fearlessness.
What was Love's completion percentage in that game?
I don't know about in the game, but on the season he had I think it was 66 or 67.
I believe he was 50-some% in that game as well. So
let's go.
When it all mattered.
And Stafford, I believe, had a worse percentage as well.
Stafford
he
didn't have a good game there.
So
he still won that game.
When you look at quarterbacks, obviously, everyone wants to throw shade at my guy Caleb, who is continuing to ascend. That's really the only thing right now that they have is the percentage, right? I mean, what else do they have? I mean, Nick and Tyler, I mean, when you look at quarterbacks, I mean, Caleb, he has it all, doesn't he?
He did throw 5 interceptions in 2 playoff games.
I think Trevor Lawrence should be higher on that list. I mean, if you look at someone who has like a 60% completion rating, 4,000 yards passing, he took that whole entire team, put them on his shoulders, and literally they were like the darlings. And I thought they had a chance this year just because of, and they had that Doug Peterson championship pedigree where they've learned in the past, even though he's not there anymore. And it's just one of those, how is he 9?
Well, I put him at 9 because it's the body of work. He had a lot of bummy years. You know what I'm saying? This year he finally passed Justin Herbert to me. Yeah. Because I'm done with him. I'm done with him.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm done with him. So like I always kind of looked at them as the same. This year he played very well. So he's on my list. He wouldn't have been on my list last year. This year, I put him on the list, and that was reluctantly because I was looking at this year he's kind of good. See Jaden Daniels, I like the way he played last year, so I have him at 10. I'm a Lions fan, so I'm gonna have Goff up there because I think Goff played good this year without the O-line, so that's why he had 5. But I got the superheroes at top. I got the MVP. He played his ass off this year. Burrow, I'm looking at the body of work in the way I like my quarterbacks to play. I'm not a Dak Prescott fan, but he got a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns, So that's
I agree with this. I think it's a great list.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Dre, there's no Sam Darnold here. So obviously we did this before the Super Bowl. Do we need to throw Sam Darnold on here somewhere?
No, we don't, no.
Nah, I would say I don't know.
Hey, where's 9 on this list?
Nah, I'm okay with it. Like I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try to put McCarthy here. But then again, I also wouldn't put Burrow at high as number 2 because he was injured for the majority of the year too.
I just love him though.
Nothing against him. I just think he just didn't. I mean, he was injured. Like
he was.
So that's the only thing I couldn't put him as number 2. But that's probably as much as I would change.
I mean, just the way I like my quarterbacks to play. I like quarterbacks in the clutch when it matters. Like that means a lot to me. That I rank that high on my list of the things that I like in the quarterback. So that's why
my guy Caleb, Iceman.
I mean, he played for the Bears, so I can only like him but so much.
Yeah.
But I mean, why not? Why not? He's
all right.
good.
So
at the top of my paper, the only thing you are missing is the clutch gene. From Jalen Hurts has the clutch gene. Anyone that's in Philly, they know that. Like in a big game. He in that Super Bowl, he was like he had the highest quarterback rating of almost anyone ever in the Super Bowl. It was like 160. Yeah. So like in big games where previous to this year, he would go into killer. I mean, that's why Jordan signed him. I mean, like Jordan probably sees that in him, but I just think he lacks the talent. And that's like
a lot of games.
Yeah, he's got talent in him. Like if LeBron James had Jalen Hurts' mentality, he'd be the best ever. But like because it's not the mentality part, and he's not the killer like Jordan, he's not. In my opinion.
I agree. I can agree with that.
I could see that. Yeah.
That's what I wonder about Jalen Hurts as well. Like, does he care about winning as much? He's got so many other things going on. Does he? And obviously, I mean, he
good question.
Almost has that aloofness. That does he have a little Jay Cutler in him?
No, he cares.
Smoking Jay.
I wouldn't say that.
All right. Well, let's bring out my list, and I actually went to 16. 7th letter. You ready for this right now?
Yeah.
16.
I went to 16 here.
He bugged out.
May, I like it. You got to put him up there.
Putting May ahead of Love.
Crazy.
Caleb Williams, top 5.
I knew he was going to put Caleb up there. I knew that.
I mean, sure, Homer, but like
this was before the Super Bowl. But May was runner up in the MVP.
Season.
Yeah,
he had a good season.
Man, had a good season. He ain't play nobody. I knew it was. But I don't even know. I wasn't on the show last week, but the week before that, I said like it's just going to be whatever quarterbacks plays the best. That's the team that's going to win. Because I kind of knew both of them were too scared, especially the halftime is just halftime. You already saw what type of game it was going to be. 2 scary quarterbacks that's gonna get hold on to the ball, almost throw interceptions and get sacked, and may just happen to be the guy. People love Drake, man. I don't get it yet. I don't see what everyone sees. Like, I guess, running quarterbacks, I'm not a big fan of those personally, but I don't know how you got him before, like, Love and I don't know why Herbert's on your list. Hurts or none of them. He ain't really do nothing to me. They ain't play nobody. And they got a lot of material. The Patriots spent a lot of money this year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money this year. The O-line was
the Patriots didn't have as much. Who did they have? An aging Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs know how to get open. And,
not in the Super Bowl, evidently.
It's a
Mac Hollins
tight end resurgence. They got good tight ends over there.
Yeah.
Booty, LSU wide receiver. He might not be, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and all those other guys, but he was a good receiver there. That's a good pedigree right there. So
this is a quarterback ranking as far as reality, in my opinion. It'll probably change going into next year. Yeah, I know.
Is it strictly based on last season, or is this like body of work, like with 7th letter?
Reality is a fun word.
So for me, it's what I saw at the end of the season and going into next season. So obviously Mahomes, he's Mahomes. Stafford as well is right up there. Burrow, he's been to a Super Bowl. Allen, he's proven over a number of years that he's ready to continue to take the step. We'll see if he can actually get his team to the Super Bowl. And I think Caleb is poised to be in the MVP conversation. Mind you, all right, I said this about Jalen Hurts prior to him being in the MVP conversation. Go back in the tape. I said Jalen Hurts would be in the MVP conversation prior to that year that he was. I said that to a Cowboys fan. She was not very happy about it, but I ended up being correct. Now, so I'm saying it again.
2022 Jalen Hurts, please resurrect him.
Caleb Williams is going to be in the MVP conversation in 2026 or 2026 season and beyond. I'm just saying it.
Just like renting his space there for the next few years, huh?
Absolutely. All right. So what about fantasy? When you look at kind of quarterbacks fantasy wise, predictive models, Nick and Tyler, what do you guys kind of look at with that as far as, or what are you seeing with quarterbacks as far as fantasy quarterbacks?
Well, quarterbacks were pretty good for fantasy this year. I wouldn't necessarily build your team around a quarterback, but when we were optimizing, lineups, I was more building around, the core, and then kind of using that quarterback almost like that 5th or 6th or 7th round you would do at your home draft, where, I wasn't going the top 2 or 3 because we just found that there was so much more value between the lines with our modeling. And a lot of the players, when you locked them in, while locking in a quarterback early, whether it was May or Bo Nix or someone that wasn't like super high up, you were able to really, mix and match the other role players really well. In our modeling. That's what I found that one. You have your managers that like to draft quarterbacks in the first round. They usually never win. So it's no different than, I think, when you're building your own, at-home fantasy team. It's just, the modeling and the AI kind of prove that.
Yeah. And then when you also piggyback that off our dynamic and interactiveness of the other functions of our app, you could play like for Dak Prescott, rushing yards, or whether it was over 1.5 touchdowns, like you could still play around with the threshold and the modeling, like because you really are in control of the data, and then you piggyback that off the fantasy IQ and the DFS optimizer. You're going to be more informed of what kind of lineup you're trying to build once you go into your DraftKings or whatever.
Because you can arbitrage almost with with the odds data for him to play well. If our modeling has him like an 80% chance of rushing his over yards, so you can go in and you can say, whoa, wait a minute, his salary cap is only $5,300. Someone else is $7,000. Let's go take him, because on the player side, the BTA model has him going over in certain areas that I want to optimize. So you really can use it as like we're trying to be that education space because the data is so new, and you can plan around it. So it's a great point from Tyler. You can kind of arbitrage with the player prop data that you can get on our other side.
Yeah.
So
now, Miles, when you kind of look at fantasy versus reality quarterbacks, like what do you, do you kind of see it a lot similar as far as ranking reality quarterbacks as opposed to fantasy, or how do you look at it when you're doing fantasy?
Well, I mean, it used to be a little bit more kind of universal. Now you got all these leagues that you got crazy bonuses to consider. So there are there's a league that I'm in that I've been in for several years where the quarterback bonuses are nuts. So if you can get one of those top 3 quarterbacks, it's actually worth it in the first round. After that, it drops off. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think fantasy versus reality for me is not. I don't look at the same things. I mean, for fantasy, obviously, you're just trying to maximize your stats, and I think you can do that if you can hit like with a good running quarterback like Lamar Jackson and his better years. Man, it's just a fantasy nightmare. Where in reality, yeah, I'm a lot more looking at like what's going on between the ears. I'm much more interested in which of these guys can, play the chess match on the field and command the offense. And that doesn't always look, like the sexiest stats or, the highest fantasy score. And so for me, it's different. I said there's some overlap for sure, but it's definitely different.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a chance, Miles. All right, so go ahead and rank your quarterbacks. So give me, and then we'll kind of obviously Dre, you can jump in here too. So all right, so your quarterback number 1, Miles.
I'll try to make this a little simple, but I'll sprinkle in a little bit of what seventh letters approach is with the body of work, but with a little blend of what do I think they're going to do next year. I think you still have to have Mahomes at the top. That
All right,
he's the king till he's not at this point, and tough year for sure, but they will definitely bounce back. I think Stafford pretty easy to put number 2 for me right now, so I don't think we disagree too much on that. Burrow I think is a pretty fair number 3. Gosh, once you get to number 4, I'd like to start maybe considering Josh Allen, but man, I just kind of wonder, like, is he bumping up against a ceiling right now? It seems like he's having a hard time kind of getting past, where he's been. But he is reliable. So I guess, I'll throw him there at 4. He's pretty consistent, pretty solid leader. Since everybody else is doing the homer pick, I'm going to definitely put Love as number 5. I think he's a top 5 quarterback. I think this season he proved that in several metrics that he's a top 5 quarterback. And I only expect that to continue next season. So after that, I'm probably looking at, you guys might hate on this. I might be looking at Darnold after that.
Okay.
He's a Super Bowl winner, man. Like he didn't do it all on his own, but he's also now the only quarterback in history to have back-to-back seasons with different teams and 14 plus wins. So like there's something there. So he's doing something right. So I'll put him at that 6th spot. Man, after that, it gets tough for me. It gets kind of messy for me and how to parse all that. There's a handful of guys that, I'll probably, in the next batch, I would probably put like Goff, Hurts, Knicks. He was really, I think man, it's unfortunate he got hurt, man. The way Knicks, that could have changed everything if Knicks was playing in that game against the Patriots.
They would have been in the Super Bowl.
Man, so I don't think I'm ready to call Caleb Williams a top 10 quarterback.
That's all right. That's fair.
I'm not going to say you're nuts if you want to say he's a top 10 quarterback. I'm not ready. He's not a top 10 quarterback to me. He might be a top 11 or 12. But
all right. So who you have is Knicks at 9. Who at 10?
rounding that out. Did I say Prescott? Prescott's still in there. He's
Okay,
still
yeah,
solid.
Prescott, it would be 10. Okay.
He'd be in there, yeah.
That's a good list.
All right, so this is your list, Miles. Mahomes, Stafford, Burrow, Allen, Love, Darnold, Goff, Hurts, Nix, and Prescott.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. I might switch out Goff and Hurts. I don't know that. No, I'm good with that.
What about you, Dre? What are your thoughts on that list?
Yeah, I think like if we go with the whole not looking at just 2025, I think like I would switch Burrow and Allen, I think. Mostly because Burrow has injury, and honestly looking into next year, who knows? I mean, you don't at this point, there's so many rumors like what's gonna happen with him in Cincinnati. Yeah, I think like that was, I think Josh Allen, I think just has shown honestly that he can do a lot with honestly minimal outside of like Dalvin Cook. Like their offense was very minimal. I mean not Dalvin Cook, sorry, James Cook. And that's why I would say that. But yeah, he does obviously hit the ceiling playing the Bills and stuff. I would not put Jordan Love that high, but I'm also not a Packers fan. And I don't have a quarterback to be a homer for right now, at least in the top, at least in the top 10. So, and yeah, I think otherwise I would say even with that. I would not put Nix in there. I don't think he's top 10 right, at least right now. I don't totally trust him. I kind of have him kind of similar to Drake May right now. Like he's still kind of proven himself a little bit. I think he does have like issues. I don't think they should have won that Bills game, but that's another point. And my thing
Bills fan, secondary
Bills fan. Yeah, that's also part of it. And I think Jalen Hurts, my only issues with him, I think, is just with the Eagles offense in general. Like even over the past few years, I think some of his stats are just overinflated. Whenever I see like he's the most scoring running running quarterback, it's just when I see like the majority of his touchdowns are like 1-2 yards, like that's not the same thing. If you're gonna compare like a Mike Vick's touchdowns, like that's in my head. So it's like it's not the same thing. I think fantasy wise that was great like 2 years ago, but I do like him. Like I have nothing really totally against him. I think he has a lot there. I liked him like in college, and I really liked him like the Eagles picking him up initially. I think he had a chip on his shoulder. I think he still does. So I like his like his mental aspect. Dak is another interesting one because for a few years he was just basically essentially slightly better Kirk Cousins, but not much different. I kind of like I mean I think that's the thing. I wouldn't put any like the newer players. The only one I would maybe put there is Jay Daniels in the top 10, maybe. But again, like we're basing it off of 2 years ago, not last season, because obviously he was injured, which is really hard to push for because he's only that's all we have. But other than that, otherwise I'm not too much different. I like Goff a lot. I think he does a good amount for the Lions too.
You know, it's interesting. We talk about quarterbacks, and I think,
take Darnold off. Take Darnold off. He's not top 10.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, like once the quarterback wins a Super Bowl, it feels like in the especially immediate aftermath, they get a bump up. You know, and Hurts had that for a little bit, and now he's kind of like a lot of people forgetting about him and thinking, maybe he's not that good. Especially like Seventh Letter says that all the time. But Sam Darnold, like even after they won the Super Bowl, the coach was having to defend his quarterback. I mean, I don't know if that's ever happened other than like Trent Dilfer, which it was quite warranted. Like I don't remember were Philly fans, questioning Jalen Hurts after they won the Super Bowl?
No, because he had a really good game. So but they were questioning him all the way up until it, and then that like one playoff win where we just blew the doors off of I forget. I'm getting my Super Bowl years mixed up. I think it
The
was
Chiefs, they had no business there.
yeah. Well, it was the Rams the week before, and that's where everyone was like, "Oh crap," and then they just blew the doors up. But that whole entire season was just magical in terms of our offense. I mean, it was just. I mean, the only people I like Caleb Williams. I would put him up there, and I'm not trying to I really would. I mean, if you look at any ranking system, they have Darnold all the way down. They have Caleb Williams all the way up. And I know Darnold just won the Super Bowl, but he didn't do anything in those 2 or 3 playoff games. Like nothing. Yeah. To your guys' point. I mean,
actually, I thought he had a really good game in the NFC Championship game. That was kind of his only.
We would have played well. Like he didn't get touched. Like they kept him pretty. The offensive line played real well that game.
And I would take Hurts off the list. I mean, I really would. I mean, that's. I would put Trevor Lawrence over Hurts any day of the week. I would take him.
Interesting.
I would take. He has A.J. Brown. He has Devontae Smith. He has Saquon Barkley. He has Will Shipley. He has Dallas Goedert. Like, come on. I mean, if you look at it like that, then there is something with the sentiment in the locker room, and that's the biggest talk in Philly.
But he also had the tool of making calls.
Yeah. Is Nick Sirianni calling the offense? Is Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown calling the offense? It's that little, like, you're almost that aloofness. I forget who said the aloofness, but that aloofness, in this day and age, because we're around athletes, like, with our company, like, you need to be engaging, and he's not. And I think that plays a big role in, I mean, look at all those superstars we have. Yeah. I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence in a New York in a second.
So then my question, because, Packers fans are super opinionated about our situation in a lot of ways with coaching. With Philly, you really believe it's more of like Hurts' inability to do what needs to be done rather than just an issue with who's calling plays or the offensive system?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like if you're in a poker table and you don't know that, like, you're being like the sharks are around you, then you're the prey. And it really is. I mean, how many more people can you put around him? And it's every single year of his career, he's had different coordinators. So there must be something in his personality that pushes people away. That's all I'm saying, because I'm a people person. And I can look at him and I'll be like, why? If you just tweak this a tiny bit, you got the locker room and you got the city in your hands. And he just doesn't.
Interesting.
So speaking, you guys were at the Super Bowl. Did you interact with some of these quarterbacks then?
Not quarterbacks. The only interactions I had were with Lorenzo Neal, Marshall Faulk, Von Miller, Justin Parisi, a couple of other people that were at Lee Steinberg's party on Saturday night. But on Thursday, we were at Terra, which is a gallery in San Fran, demoing our app for the Players Impact. So we joined the Players Impact. It's a organization that helps players, after they, get off the field, helping them with financial literacy, with, different companies to, invest in. That's what the Players Impact does. And when we were demoing our app, it was wild. I mean, Marshall Faulk was right there. I was demoing the app for Von Miller. Lorenzo Neal came. And I don't know if you guys know what Lorenzo Neal looks like, but I'm only like 5'9". He's about my height, 5'10", but he's like a refrigerator. Yeah. So and when he looks at you like he wants to kill you. But he's like, it's not like it's just because he looks mean, but he's like a big teddy bear. So it was, it was our first rodeo in terms of being around that many athletes in that room. But it's not, we're just trying to educate in the space, and it is kind of wild. If I shared my screen, I could show you some pictures from this weekend, and it's just like, oh my, like, did this really happen? But it is happening, and I'm sure we'll get some quarterbacks, but it was mostly the role players. And we're all role players, so I kind of like, navigating in those channels.
Yeah,
Marshall is a good name drop.
yeah, absolutely.
Go to my Instagram, you'll see it all. Like I have my selfies with Marshall Faulk, with everyone this weekend. So
all right, so I want to go around to everyone on this, and you look at this is the PFF ranking. When you look at the quarterbacks, what if we fast fast forward to the end of their careers, each one of these quarterbacks' careers, which quarterback would you say it would surprise you the most that did not have another Super Bowl, or did not win a Super Bowl from here on out?
Jared Goff.
Okay,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I got to say Jordan Love for sure. But
Okay.
if you have, if you just like set the homer pick aside, I mean, Jordan Love would be a sincere answer, but maybe Burrow would be more surprising.
Yeah.
Not on the Bengals.
Well, just from his potential, and him getting there before, and the Bengals organization is pretty impressive, man. But
impressive is a
all the
positive.
money there.
Impressive in the most negative way possible.
Yeah.
But yes, I think I'd be really surprised if Burrow didn't win one.
What about you, Nick and Tyler? Good.
Sorry. Because now I can't even think of his name because he's not on the list. Where's Lamar?
Well, he was
wouldn't be
injured.
on here because it's PFF.
Okay.
Yep,
PFF.
yep.
My bad. All right. Yep.
This would be on my list. We'll give you my list.
That's
Everyone
a good pick,
loves my
though. That's a good one to say that you'd be surprised.
I
I'd be
won't.
surprised if but that was
It's over. It's over.
For Lamar?
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
I can say that. I can say that with a lot of confidence. Like
Really?
Yeah.
He's not that old.
He's
got a lot left in him.
They figured out how to defend him. They know where he's going with the ball. They know. They know. Everyone knows now.
He kind of has looked lost in the last, and that's been surprising to me, just with how the command that he had of the offense and just in the previous years. And I don't know if it's just he's questioning himself with the injuries or anything like that, or maybe it was Harbaugh. Maybe he gets a change now and that'll be better, but who knows?
I think that was stupid for them to let go Harbaugh. But
my two are Mahomes and Jackson because I think one of those two are going to win a Super Bowl again. Or Lamar hasn't, but I think Mahomes is going to. Mahomes is Mahomes.
Yeah.
He literally is the point guard version of the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's Steph Curry, man.
Yeah, he's Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I mean, and he could throw with his toe if he wanted to. So I do like Mahomes winning another one. But if Lamar was on that other list, I really do think with this new regime coming in, he is going back to Michael Vick. He's Michael Vick, and if you can't generate a good offensive line around him and then let him run behind that offensive line with a good running back, what are you doing? That's how Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. You just used his legs all season. It's
the way they play.
He hasn't lost a step. I mean,
it's the way they play. It's the way they play. Jalen Hurts has a smoothness to him. A little bit more stocky. You know what I mean? A little bit more stocky, so less prone to injury. You know what I'm saying? He's I don't like personally. I don't like quarterbacks that hold the ball for a long time. I don't think you can win that way. Personally, you know what I mean? Unless you Mahomes. Mahomes got away with it. He hold that ball for a little minute too, but he's not a runner. He's a passer first, and he just he in that system with Andy Reid and knowing the fundamental. Well, however, Andy Reid hit the jackpot with him. This is what he's been looking for forever. Pat Mahomes, but the way Lamar Jackson plays, you can take him out of the game because in his losses, they always end up having to come back and they just come up short every time. And they could have probably they could have went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right there, man.
They were right there. So it wasn't his fault, but I do think that he kept them in the game. It shouldn't have been that close. That's the problem with those type of guys. And when you're playing against a real team, you can't make mistakes. And somehow, some way, somebody or him or somebody else on that team makes a mistake. I think losing Harbaugh, you lose a lot of experience. You lose that coaching staff. You lose a lot. You lose a whole lot. You lose a whole lot by losing him. So I think the window's kind of closed. Now I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think you can win with the little receiver. What's the little receiver? The
Zay Flowers.
Yeah, you ain't winning with that. You're not.
More dangerous.
Too small. You're not winning with that. I think the window closed, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. Josh Allen, I'll be surprised if he don't win the Super Bowl. They want to give him one so bad.
Yeah.
They want to give him one so
I tell you, there's only one quarterback that can make a fourth down completion with no toes on the ground. That's Caleb Williams. So, I would be surprised if the Bears do not have a Super Bowl by the end of his career.
Got the luckiest team ever. He got the Seahawks, man. When Russell Wilson first got there, just a lucky ass team, just lucky. And
one of those seasons where you win all those single possession games, and then how does that go next season?
Hey, Miles, tell them what happened in next year.
Yeah,
You know what? Second year quarterback, first year system, and he was still finding ways to win, even though he was only 50%. As you said,
true.
So that's
saying,
scary for the rest of the NFL.
Next, though. That's all I'm saying. What happens next?
60%.
60%. Hey, okay. That would be improvement.
Well, at least you guys don't have the only guy who threw an interception and fumbled the ball in the same play ever. That was Jalen Hurts. He threw an interception, then he caused a fumble, and he recovered the fumble, and then someone swapped the fumble out of his hands. He lost the fumble. He threw an interception and fumbled the ball in the same play. Only person ever.
Goodness. Yeah, that's not. I wouldn't want that.
You know how many people
that kind of microcosm of Jalen Hurts.
You know the Raiders fans will probably kill have any one of our quarterbacks except for yours, right? Except for yours, Dre. But
that's fair.
Everybody else, we just complain. We so hard on them, but it is what it is, man.
You know, a lot of things can change from year to year, right? This time last year, everyone was all about Jaden Daniels. They're like, oh, he's the next thing. Year before that, it was CJ Stroud. And now CJ Stroud almost lost. Well, he did lose his team the game. I think I don't know what's happened to CJ Stroud. What I like about my quarterback is that you see progression from one year to the next, and that's what you want to see. I mean, Dre, what about you as far as a quarterback that you'd be surprised to say did not win a Super Bowl?
Given that none of them maybe change teams and they don't lose any of their star players, all they do is potentially gain somebody, I think Burrow, given that he doesn't lose anybody, I think he has a really good chance and he can obviously stay healthy. Josh Allen, I do really think he's one of those quarterbacks. He just, unfortunately, there's just been certain things that have happened, whether they're refs or whether they're just they don't have a good enough team or whatever the case is,
Something like that. You know what I mean? He played the Chiefs or something like that and he cheated, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with those statements either. But either way, I think those are probably the two. I'd probably be a little more I would be surprised. I think any of the other ones are. Yeah, I think they're just too early and there's just too many iffiness. Prescott's the only one maybe, but it's also the Cowboys, so I don't trust them to make it past the wild card.
Yeah, Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning. He does not care a thing about winning.
No, he's still trying to dominate DFW business. That's what he's doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
you guys notice that?
He used what?
He uses the word glory hole a lot in the wrong context.
What?
Not surprised.
Doesn't surprise me at all, man. He is a dirty old man.
What?
Wait, what context does he use it in?
He's talking about managing the team, but glory hole's a Texas soil term, and
that's true.
It's that term, and I'm just dude, get a level of sense, one fiber, because that's not.
No one's thinking that.
It's
I didn't even know that. So
look up glory hole Jerry Jones. I guarantee you'll see a compilation of him saying it 16 times. In
my God!
I'd just be very careful looking that up, man.
Yeah.
Maybe
Don't do it on your work computer.
maybe go on incognito mode for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not on your work computer. Well, definitely appreciate everyone coming tonight. We had an impromptu discussion about quarterbacks. Always interesting to talk about, especially after the Super Bowl and now heading into the off season. Lots to talk about, coming up in the off season as well. Definitely appreciate everybody, tuning in. Miles, always glad to have you on. Where can everyone find you as we close out?
Yes, thanks for having me back, man. Always good to hang with you guys. You guys can catch me on the Pack Weekly Pod every Monday night, 9:30, streaming live, talking Pack, and we're in draft season, so we're going through all the prospects position by position. So come hang out. Even if you're not a Packers fan, you probably enjoy it at this point, and we'll be doing it all the way through the draft. We're on YouTube at Packers Talk Network and on Twitter X at Pack Weekly Pod. Man, go Pack, go!
Lots of great draft coverage as always. So definitely look forward to seeing that. So now, Dre, where can everyone find you as we close out?
You can find me on X, Twitter, at Skullman Sports. Kind of in new basketball season and also kind of draft, just kind of prepping my thoughts on that. I'm like usually 50-50. So I don't know how good I am really, but yeah, we'll see. Off season's fun too.
Well, it's always good to, know exactly what players you want, or at least positions, I think. Yeah, for me too. With the way the Bears drafted in 2025, in polls I trust, seventh letter in polls I trust. You look at all those rookies, impact rookies. I'm telling you.
All right,
we're building a winner.
What's up, man? Proud of you, man.
Hey. I've been waiting for you to say that. Well, definitely appreciate Tyler and Nick, you coming on as well. Where can everyone find both of you?
We're at BTA Sports US on Instagram. You guys can go check us out there. We are in both app stores, in Google Play and in the App Store, Apple App Store. Yeah, check us out. We're on Twitch, we're on TikTok, we're on every single, social media. We're really, really, thankful for you guys having us on.
Yeah, thank you. Website's btsports.io. Yeah, check us out. We're always available. And yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks
definitely
again for having me.
Definitely going to check that out. And especially as I look to get back into fantasy contention. I have not done well in the last couple of years. So, but I'll get there. And you can find me on NFL Outdated on YouTube, on Twitter X, on Instagram. Find us on Freezin 4 Pod on TikTok. And seventh letter. I'm going to give you this spot, even though officially I am the king of the North.
You got it, man.
Where can we find you, sir?
Man. Seventh letter 4, Twitter X, same OG, Instagram, Facebook. A pleasure hanging out with you guys tonight. Everybody be safe. Let's try to stay warm.
From the bottom of the NFC North.
You know what, Dre? I'll take that. You beat me twice this year. You beat me with a Prosmer, man. You got it. You got it, man. I can't say nothing.
I don't throw a lot. I don't throw a lot of strays, but
But you know what, man? we beat the Bears twice, so I could take that one. That's my Super Bowl. Let's talk about that, Andy. Ready to go to bed? No.
We're the king of the North. 2-4 in the division. It doesn't matter. All right. Hey, it doesn't matter. We're sitting on the throne. Well, I definitely appreciate everyone following, liking, subscribe. Definitely, comment where you can. And we'll talk more about fantasy football and obviously draft stuff in the coming weeks as well. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. And once again, this has been the Freezin 4 NFC North Podcast, and we will catch you again next week. Thanks again, everybody.